There, we're ready. Okay. Welcome back, gamers. So before again, funny thing, oh, the window isn't oh, you can't see the full screen and everything on the oh, should I fix that? Cause like look, if I move my mouse down here on my end, that changes that changes the skin for the game. The texture, if that's what you want to call it. But it's not showing that because the game window is kind of enhanced. Then again, since it's logic bombs, I would want to push a bunch of this stuff to the center. Otherwise, you'll just see a bunch of black space, and I feel like that's not really something to worry about. I mean, I'll have to fix that for other games, but I mean, that's also the game capture, and I don't really use it too much, so I think we'll just leave it. We'll be fine. Anyway, where was I going? Oh, yeah. So, two things. First off, the funny kind of story for both. I am recording this the same day I finally edited the other video, so no shit, I want to play it again. I like this game a lot. It is fun as hell, and I'm excited to do it. And I will also be forced to do more puzzle games because this week is President's Day, so that means today, which is Friday, because I record these like ahead of time by the moment you see them, or practically the next day mostly. I upload. So yeah, today's Friday, then tomorrow's Saturday, and then Sunday. So that's 3 days. My dad's here. Monday being a fourth day, and means we can't be too loud because they just it's not a good thing to do when he's here. They don't really like it. So I got this puzzle game here, and I got other puzzle games. I got Minesweeper. I got The Room 3. Shh. Okay, they'll come very soon. Okay, don't worry. And then, God, I don't know. I'll try Mario because I want to get back to 64. But the thing is, I'm worried about my anger. And the thing is, since I last played Detroit Become Human, I know we're going completely with a bunch of different games and stuff. But since I played it, I kind of realized I had a bit of a problem with temper. But that one I found more understandable because of excitement. I'm going through like nearly 15 hours of gameplay and I want to have a good ending. I think it makes sense for all the overreactions. And I can even understand why people do it when they're watching like anime and stuff like that. I don't watch much anime, but I think it's cool. Oh yeah, that's just gonna say, I want to try and control the temper a bit more, especially because there are a bunch of rage games I would generally love to play. I'm thinking I Am Bread, I Am Fish, Cuphead, good rage games. Because I honestly think they're a lot of fun. And that's that out of the way. And I got my brain juice here. I think we'll probably, if there's time, record 2 videos today. I mean, I don't know. It depends how long I last for this. But here, there's that. Oh, shit! XYZ. We got math problems. I fucking love math problems. It's gonna be a fun one. So yeah, that's that. Oh yeah, and the last thing I just said about funny news is, oh god, what was it? Oh yeah, it's on my screen. You can't see it because it's on my TV over there, but recently I was watching some Try Not to Laugh, so I'm kind of in a really fun, good mood here. And let me just hold on, look that off first, and yeah. So yeah, I'm in a bit of a good mood here. And yeah. I mostly do watch the ones that are like YouTubers try not to laugh, so it's like, I have to also avoid their reactions to it and like their comments, which is also sometimes a lot funnier than the actual videos themselves. But yeah, I don't know why many people don't actually react that way. Let me know if you'd like to have me do like a try not to laugh or something like that, because I'd gladly do it. I actually do quite well in them too. So if you want to test that metal, go ahead and send me some clips. Hey, who? Let me just start this off. Well, I was gonna start to do some math, but I guess not. Okay, I guess not. Is that all I gotta say before we like truly begin this? I think so. So yeah. All right, let's do this. I am ready. Let's get puzzling. Okay, so x looks like it equals 3, y equals 1. So let me add that up. So x times 3, we got 6, and then y times 3 is 9. So we have 9, and then we have 6 remaining. So that means z has to equal 2, so I think I can do that easily by doing this. Actually, no, do I have to do it that way? I don't know, because there's an art we could do it here with y, but y equals 1. Let me first just surround these and make that good. Okay, there we go. Z can't double explode, so that's a wall off there. X equals 3, so actually it does have to do this way, and then I can block that off, and then I can block you off, so then Z has to equal 2. Yeah, Z has to equal 2. X is 3, Y is 1, Z is 2. So I have to do it that way, and then I can do this, and then this, and then Y equals 1, so I have to do that. There we go. Block that off, and bam. And block you off, block you off, block you off, block you off. Oh yeah, we also got 2 sections. Let me first like clear up everything else I can around here. Block you off. No. There's gotta be a wall in between there and a wall in between there. Block that off. There's gotta be one between there, so actually I can just mark that as a blank. And I think that pretty much about does it. I think. Yeah, I think that does it. Yeah, okay. Oh, one wall in between there, so I can do this. That's pretty good. What do you want, Reddit? Why you keep reminding me of stuff? Okay. Let's see where we can truly begin this whole thing now. 5? Oh yeah, I can do this 5. Wait, no I can't. I can almost do this 5, actually. Actually, yeah, I can do this 5 crazy enough, because watch this. This little section here needs to escape. It needs to connect to this star, or it needs to connect somewhere around to this star. So, since it can only get out one way because there's only 4 blanks, and that leaves, 10 spaces, so, 10 minus 4 equals 6, meaning we only have enough spot for one more blank. So, this could never be blank, because if it was, then the rest of those would be walls, and that would trap this section. So that's that. 2, I don't know. 4 is close. I don't know about that. 3, no. 4, no. 1, well, that could be the same section. I don't know. This star, ooh, that cannot connect there. Those would be the same section, so I can do that. Then that bomb can be cleared. This section, still not connecting to anything yet. Here's a question. Can this ever connect, this little section connect to this star? In fact, no, it can't, because the only corner pocket that it could ever have a chance would connect to both ones, not only making this cat get exploded twice, but also connecting both sections, making this illegal. So, this entire little connection here goes to this star. So, can I use that for any information? I don't know. I don't know. Hmm. Yeah, actually, I don't think that can do anything. I'm trying to think, like, what else am I missing here? Maybe this section? Is this section ever going to be connected? I don't know. It looks like there's a bunch of walls and everything going in between, but I don't know. Oh, how about this 4? I'm so stupid. Sometimes you just, you need to look at all the numbers and you just find something magically. It just happens sometimes. And then, you're seeing here with these moments where I just have nothing happening for like a few 30 seconds straight. And you're just looking at me like, why doesn't this guy see this? Is he stupid? And yes, I get that. Sometimes, people like me can be stupid when we do things like that. But, there's just also a lot going on. So, it takes a while to calculate. What else? Oh, I can't connect these sections because this star and this star cannot join together. So that can be blocked off. Oh, and that actually completes this, which helps me figure what out. Actually, it doesn't help me with anything. Actually, it does because this section is now the same. I can know that since there has to be a wall between these two sections, this has to be blank. And if this was the wall, then we would have our conjoined section problem. So we can't do that. Gotta be a wall in between there. Wall in between there. 4? I have no idea. 3? 3 can be done, actually. So let's do 3. And then we have to escape through this way through the section so that can clear off the 4. And there we go. Oh, my bad. Blank section. Oh, green laser. That's cool. Okay. Puzzle 1 done. About 10 minutes. Well, actually more like 6 minutes because of the intro and everything. So that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. Maybe I should stop making the intro so long, but you know what? It's my life and it's my channel. And sometimes I just want to talk about my personal problems. Can you just let me talk about my problems? Sorry. Where's the trick with this? All these ones are going in all kinds of directions. And there's no small number either, which is really infuriating. Maybe this 5? Nah, this 5 doesn't... It's close. It is close, actually, but it doesn't say enough. How about this 7? This 7 has a really interesting story. That it makes me just want to do this immediately. And then look at all this stuff when we get out. Like, you cannot tell me that you would not want to start that way. You cannot tell me you would not want to start that way. It seems so simple, man, but I don't know. I just don't know. Let me look at these blanks right now. 5. 5. Okay, so this bomb isn't going to explode anything. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This was wrong. Ergo, that is what we were looking at. That is crazy. That is crazy. Am I the only one who thinks that's crazy? That's insanely cool. That it worked out that way. That is insanely cool. And now I can actually start legitly with this 5. That's pretty fucking sweet. That was a cool beginning. The whole, like, fake out to actually find it. That was pretty cool. I think that was pretty cool. Now you can see what I mean, that you don't need to see, like, the full screen bar and everything, because all you're seeing is, like, this tiny-ass game window. So maybe, in fact, I should just zoom it in more so you don't get all this blank space. Anyway. What else is there? The 5? 5 can be done. Yeah, 5 can be done. Oh, the 1 is done now? Oh, there you go. All this needs to connect somewhere. This 6, 7, 7 can be done. I can wall these off. Ooh, what do you know? This is still the same. That's pretty cool. What else? 7. Actually, I can just keep extending the 7 the same as usual, because if I didn't, then I'd create a bunch of weird blank spots, because it was already walled off before. So yeah. 4, 6, it's close. 7, 7's not there yet. 2, 4, 2. Nah, they're not different sections. I can do this 6 though. This 6 is done. 4, 6. No, 4, 7. This 7 can be done actually. Whoopsie daddle. That 7 is done. So now I can wall things off like that because they have their own spots which can never have anything going on. Unfortunately, I can't put a wall here because this could happen, which is really infuriating because, especially because they're already connected, it just means that I have more work that I need to figure out. All the bombs are already sectioned off, so I can't do anything with that. This is infuriatingly close. 4, 4, 6. Ah, this 6 can be done. There we go. How about this 4? This 4 cannot be done yet. As crazy as that sounds, it cannot be done yet. This is getting hard. This is getting really hard. This one's hard. I have legit no clue how to do this without maybe just going for what my gut told me was right. It just seems, I don't know, but it could be wrong. Actually, wait a minute. No, it's not wrong. I'm a fucking idiot. Because look, there needs to be 2 more blank spaces in here. So if I was to do this, I would need to do this anyway. And if it wasn't there, it would have to be here. So no matter what, this has to be blank. So that's why everything looked like it lined up. Because I was right. Screw me, I guess. I should have played off of it. I don't know why I didn't decide to do that. I apologize. Real stupid over here. This is that easy. If I just went off of what I thought was right. I just couldn't think of the logic beforehand, which is why I didn't go for it. So I decided it wasn't real, but I was wrong. It was real the whole time, and I could have just figured it out right from there. I see a problem right now, and I think I know exactly how this needs to go. And I can explain through one of my favorite subjects of all, math. I love math. So the thing is, there are 4 X bombs and 4 Y bombs. They cannot equal the same number, and there are a total of 8 cats that need to be exploded. So I could, if they could equal the same number, would say they'd both equal 1. But because that is null and void, that means only one bomb has to explode 2 cats each, meaning the other bomb is a 0 bomber. The question is, which is which? Because see, this Y could explode here and there, and then this Y could explode here, and this Y could explode there. And then instead, actually, let me think about it. The solutions, I think, would be this. And this. No, actually, this, and then... Ha 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 ha, look at that. It's not X. X ain't the 0 bomber. That was all the proof I needed. So that was the one way you could do it. But instead, it looks like they want the Y to equal a 0 bomber. So instead, I'll do it the other way. This way. Which means that I have to block you off this way. And I need to explode you this way. And there you have it. Unless I somehow did something wrong, but it looks like my math is flawless. Flawless. And... nice. Alright, what other numbers need to be finished? There you go. Math saves the day. And I still have absolutely no clue what this means. Seriously, what does this mean? They've said for so long this would mean something in the future, and when I saw this, it would help us solve so many other puzzles, but I still have, like, no freaking clue what it means. It's gotta be a code, right? I don't know, maybe you guys don't understand it either. You know, maybe no one will understand it ever. Oh, hold on. I think my headphones aren't sitting on my face right because, as you can see, I got a haircut recently. And I got a haircut because I thought I was going to have an interview day. And then they cancel it on the last moment. And I got to bed at a decent time too. Even though I wanted to stay up and watch more funny videos. But I went to bed like a responsible person. And then you wake up in the morning and you just says... I get a text that says, hey, interview's been canceled. And I'm like, what? You asked me to an interview. You asked me? And I said yes, and then you say no? And we're like, what? And it's like, you know, through my peers and everything, and they're just confused, and we're all like, why'd you cancel? I wish I fucking knew. I wish I fucking knew. So yeah, just... I slept in. So you tell me to get up early and I'll get my hair cut and everything and shave my beard, which I also did because I listen and I'm nice and I get myself prepared, and then you just cancel on me as I'm like, well, fuck you then. I'm just going to go back to bed. I don't know, man. It's weird. Okay, so what can we do? We have another problem here. I see this going two ways. First off, x equals 2 and y equals 1. Or, the other idea, y equals 2 and x equals 0. Which actually looks like you could solve in several ways, crazy enough. You could also do x equals 4, which is actually not even close to impossible either. Holy shit, wow. So, there's a lot to go on with this one. Whew! Where do I begin? Maybe these ones in the corner can tell me something, because it means there can only be one ball in between all these, which means that one of these Y bombs would have to explode something. Ergo, that means Y cannot equal 0. So can X still equal 0? I don't know. But one thing I also do know is X can definitely not equal all of them, because that would make these twos null and void. So again, there's several ways telling us that X is not going to be the total and Y can never equal 0. But X could equal 0? I don't know. I think the only way I could start this is doing this and then saying Y explodes this cat. And I can't go up, and I can go either way, but I don't know where to go is my problem. Ooh, same thing with this X-bomb. So you go this way, and then Y would have to go this way. Wall in between there. Ooh, actually, let me think about that for a moment. This would already need to go a wall here, so this would be impossible. So does that mean x equals 2 and y equals 0? You know what? I think it does. I think it has to. No, y can't equal 0, though. And x can't equal 4 either. So what the fuck am I supposed to do? X cannot equal 0. Can it? Can it? Hmm. These ones tell me some interesting facts if this is the right path, that there would be one wall here and one wall here. Is it really x equals 0? For real? God, I can't tell if there's something in my eye. I need to shave this eyebrow more. That's another thing I did. Shaved my eyebrow a bit too much. You could probably tell right there. I shaved it way too much. Because I was getting so much irritation in the eye there, and then, hey presto, you shaved too much. Goodbye eyebrow. Is this really it though? Like, I am so skeptical, but at the same time, it's working. Is this seriously? Are you fucking serious? Well, you need to connect those to make that sections. I guess the moral of this story is just try one of them, and if it fails, just try another. I try to just figure out a starting before doing stuff like that, but I guess sometimes you need trial and error to actually figure out what to do. That's another lesson I learned from like logic bombs, but just sometimes you just don't want to trial and error, you know? Okay. Okay, we have another zero bomber. I see two solutions, and I know for one it can't be Y, because look at this. This number is invalid. So we can just start with this and then do that. Simple start. Actually, we're not done yet. There was no blank spaces in any of that, so... Oh, too much. Sorry, I didn't know that was... I didn't add that up right. It's got to connect through there because it's a blank. And I don't mean to laugh in a funny way, but oh my god, that was a fast one. It's just like this puzzle back here took me like 10 minutes to like 15 minutes to figure out, and then just starting the fucking thing and it just falls into place. And then this one, it's like, hey, we have the most simplest of all starts. If you know exactly what you're doing, you try one thing and then... I was right-clicking. That's really cool. You can do that? What if I hold it? You can hold it too. That's cool. You can replay the image. That's cool. But I just start one thing and it takes me like 30 seconds to finish that puzzle. Someone time that. How fast was that? That was the fastest puzzle in my life. That's why it was funny. Because it was fast. Okay. 10 cats, 2 bombs of 3 types. Well, this looks like all sorts of interesting. I think I need to start with some math. I know for one thing, if one of these bombs was to equal 0, well, actually, no, that is possible. Unfortunately, I don't know which one I could count to make it equal 0, but, you know. Hold on, I see some interesting starts, like this. One of these bombs... Actually, hold on, let me just start with these simple facts. One of these bombs can only explode 1 cat at a time, so there's a wall either here or one of these 2 spots. These 2 bombs can explode each other, so... Where would the other wall go? Actually, that doesn't tell me anything, because you could just... have both walls be in between there, but, you know. That's something to say. Let me start with something with, like, some bombs, because I'm seeing some with this X already. I'm thinking, like, what if one of the bombs would equal 3? Oh my god, again, my glasses. Yeah, this is why I shaved my eyebrows in the first place, because they just made these smudges there. Never mind, that didn't fix any problems. I think it's because I haven't stared at a monitor for so long. Which isn't that long, but, you know. Yeah, I think my eyes will just adjust. Or is it my glasses? I don't know, like... Yeah, there's just smudges in there, man. So, maybe... I don't know. So I'm thinking, like I was trying to say, one of these bombs could equal 3. And if that was possible, that would mean that another bomb would have to equal 2, but then the last bomb would have to equal 0. Is there another way you could do this? What if one bomb equals 1? That's 2, and then the other bomb would equal 4. And then the last bomb would equal 0 again. So how about 1 and 2? 1 and 2 would make 6. So yeah, one of these bombs has to equal 0 no matter what. That's crazy, actually. Unfortunately, I don't know which bomb, and... The thing is, with the patterns I can do 1 and 4. I can do 1 and 4. Let's see, I can do 1. No, what about 2? 2 would make 4. So I can do 2 and 3, and that's it. I can do 2 and 3 or 1 and 4. That's all I can do, because the last bomb has to equal 0 no matter what. Because if you did 1 and 2, you'd make 6, and then 2 times 2 equals 4 would make 10 is a repeat number, because I can't have 2 2s. I can't have 2 2 bombs. If that makes sense. So let me think about the 4. Is there what bomb would easily be able to make 4? Obviously not Y. So Y would either be 1 or it would be 0. Z could go here, and then the other Z cannot do it. So that's not the 4 bomb. What about X? X can't be the 4 bomb either because it gets blocked off. So we're not doing 1 and 4. We are doing 2 and 3. So we need to find our 3er. Where could be our 3er be? Our 3er could be Y here, and then it could be also be Y right here. And then what would be X? X could explode both these right here, but what would Z do? Z wouldn't be able to do anything. So it could be Y and X. That's interesting. Oh, but actually it can't because this cat right here, this cat has to be explode either by the X or the Y. So it can't be that one. Or I guess it could be exploded by the Z too. No, it can't be because it has to be you or you. It has to be one or the other. Otherwise your wall numbers would be incooperable. So what if I did X this way? I could see X being 3. No, it wouldn't. Yeah, what if X went this way? Then what would X be? X would have to be 2. Yeah, X would have to be 2, and then I don't think Y could do it because the thing is I'm seeing is that either this cat gets left off or this cat gets left off because the Ys will never connect there. So I think it's got to be Z. So Z could explode all 3 of these cats this way. Then you could block this off there. And then you could block Y off. And then this Z cannot explode 3. So I think that tells us right now Y is the one that has to kill this cat. Unfortunately, that doesn't tell me anything else right now. Maybe it does say that X is the 0 bomber? Maybe. I don't know. Does it? You know, it might quite possibly. Yeah, because the thing is, when X explodes in those directions, there's not enough extra bombs for them without intersecting. Because Y has to be equal to the same number as X. Y can explode 4 here, but then this one can only explode 3, so I think this means that Y equals 3, and it goes something like, well, it has to go U at least somewhere. And then Z would be able to explode 2? No, Z can't explode 2. How about X? X can do it. Yeah, it's got to be that. Because look, if I did it here, what's X going to explode? X will explode here, but then there's this bomb here, and then this bomb here, and they all got to equal. Z can explode these 2 here, but this Z cannot. No matter what. So I think the only idea is X is the one that has to explode the 2 bombs. I mean, the 2 cats like so. And then just wall off everything else that, like, can't intersect with one another. And, I think that's everything, right? There's gotta be a wall in between you, which would just mean I can do this. Wall in between you. Wall in between you, but that doesn't prove anything of the sorts. Wall in between you, so I can do this. 4. 4 can be done. 2 can be done. This entire area is cleared off. 3. 8's getting close. 3 here? No. 1 wall between you? No. 1 wall between you? Yeah. 5. 5's done. 5, 2, 4. Okay, I think that's everything. Nope. Hold on, 4. 3. And, okay, I'm not seeing anything grabbable. Okay, so let me just start by saying that was a crazy beginning. That one involves so much complex thinking. Wow, what a beginning to a puzzle. Like, holy shit, that was insane. That alone clarifies to, like, I think how much thinking it can take for some of these levels. This is not an easy game, but it's fun nonetheless. That was crazy cool. Okay, one bomb would go here, and then another bomb. I mean, wall. Bomb? Nah, we can't place bombs. One wall would go here, and then another wall go in between here. So that would stop this one, but then this two would also need another wall. And it would have to go in between you. So I think we can just clear... Oh, I could have already cleared that off there. What stuff's not connected? That is connected... That's connected. You need to be escaping. So there you go. And then you need to escape. What a goddamn level that was. That was insane. That was an insane level. That one again took me like around 15 minutes. That was a crazy level, dude. This is an interesting level. Got the side and everything. It's actually kind of impressive. A 9 bomber too. We've never seen one of those before. That's cool. Okay. I'm just starting it off because these moments where I don't talk, I'm just like trying to do the first setup stuff of like, you know, the obvious things. Like right here, this bomb cannot explode the wall, a cat again, otherwise it would create like, you know, stupid problems. Yeah, like that. So, you know, I'm doing that because it needs to be done. And then suddenly I'm actually solving the whole puzzle without talking. Just happens sometimes. Alright. Alright. There. Go. I think that's most of it I can do besides, you know, without completely talking. I know this bomb's got to have a wall in between there, which already says because the 2 is done, so there's only one wall left. So this, and this are safe. I don't know which one is just one of those 2 spots. 2 walls. There's got to be a wall in between there, and then just one in between this section, so that's safe. Can't explode again. Wall in between there, so these are safe. Wall in between there. Can't explode twice. One wall in between there. One between there, one between here. Block that, block that. Block you from exploding again. One wall there, one wall there. Everything is connected besides you and you. So can I use that to my advantage? I know there can only be one wall between all this here, so But if I did it here, well, then that leads to sort of things where I can't do it here because it would have to be... Yeah, because it gotta be a wall in between all of that, and gotta be a wall in between here and a wall in between here. So if I did this, then I do that, and then I need this to be a connected section, so no matter what, that's got to go there. And then it looks like we've got a connection that's not working right. So I think we can just prove that these have to be connected here, and then that's a wall, and then that's a wall. And then this still needs to connect somehow, so everything's connected. I have no idea how I forgot to unplace that wall. Again, just trial and error. You need to visualize it, I guess. A and B? Hold on, 13 fucking cats? Holy shit. Holy fucking Christ. Whoops, I'm just setting up the level. Oh my God! This one's gonna be a doozy! Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Where do I begin? I think I gotta begin with the fact that one of these bombs has to explode on a 3-er. Are these all even? Y, B, B, Y, Y, X, 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 A, B, A, B. Oh my God, this is gonna be some crazy math. I think we just need to start with math. I don't see any way around it, to be honest. I legit don't see any way around it. Okay, so I think one of these bombs has to equal 1, then 2, and then a 3, and then 0. But which is it? So this is where the math comes in. So we have 2 2s and 2 3s. So let me try with the double 2s. 1 times 2 is 2. And then 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 2 equals 6. 3 times 3 is 9. So 6 plus 9? That's too much. That equals 15. That's too much. Let's try again. So how about the 1 is the 3? Because... No, we could have... Yeah, we did the 1 and the 2 already equal 2s. So yeah, the 1's got equal 3. So how about 1 times 3? 1 times 3, that's 3. And then 2 times 2 is 4. And then 3 times 4 is 6, which equals 10 plus 3 is 13. Okay, so X or B equals 3. What if it was X? X would be impossible. Look at this shit. So it cannot be X. So it has to be B. There you go. There is our beginning. We also just determined that A equals 0. Which means X is 2 or Y. No, X is... What? Wait, B and X? Is that possible? Because if it was B equals 1? No, B equals 3. Why did B equal 3? That's 9. No, it's 2. No, there's a third B-bomb! What the... I couldn't see that. I know it. I couldn't have done it that way, because that would make no sense. So, it can't be B or X. None of those can equal that, so it has to be A. Okay, I have no idea what the hell happened. I swear I knew what I was talking about. I swear to you. Okay, so I think from this point forward, we can obviously see that B is 0, which means Y is 2. It's just a math problem. It shouldn't be that hard to explain. I literally have no idea why I fumbled it for... Look at the pretty lasers. I have no idea how I fumbled it from there, but... I guess there was another way you could have also just pictured it that way. But I knew what I was talking about. So if I look crazy, then I'm not. I swear I'm not crazy. I knew what I was talking about. Just fill in these gaps, man. That's what they want. Fill in the gaps. I think that's where we can start. How many sections are there? I see there are 5 stars, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bombs. So that means this cannot be in the same section, and this cannot be in the same... In fact, I could have already figured that out, that this wall goes there because of the bomb. But it also means we have to section off here. Where else do we section off? I don't think we section off anywhere else. Fortunately, I don't know, where do we continue? Oh, I can continue here. That's really good to know, because now I can continue and break off these sections again further. And I know, again, that these cannot be in the same section, because it would create so many problems. Can this star connect to this bomb? No, it cannot. In fact, I think it has to be this star here. And it cannot go down, but the thing is, this could be a thing. But all I can figure out from the obvious is that this is a choke point here, this is a choke point here, this is a choke point here. Alright, there we go. Not a bad start. Unfortunately, this could just connect here, and then this star could connect there, and this star could connect this way, so we have no idea of telling. Oh, but it can only be 1 because of this 9. And this 9. So I think that only means 2 things. Like, this star could connect here, and then this star can connect here. In fact, that would make so much nice, good walls, but the thing is... Actually, no, that's the only way you can do this. Because how else are you supposed to get that connection working? Okay. What else are some choke points? Well, let me just finish these sections here. Oh, there you go. I wish I could have explained this a lot smoother. But... it's literally just sectioning and counting all of the things and figuring out how they're supposed to connect. You know, at this point, I think you need to have a basic understanding of how the mechanics work to be able to get this far in the levels. Which makes sense, because I'm over halfway finished with the whole game, so... I wonder if there are bonus levels. That would be so sick if there are bonus levels. There we go. Ow, ow, ow. Can I explode twice? Oh, sweet. What the fuck's going on here? One wall between you. Because you cannot be in the same section. You have to go this way is what I'm seeing. So I'm guessing the rest of these numbers have to be like the bends. or some shit. Quite possibly. Huh. I feel like there should be a way of doing this, but I just can't quite map out how it's supposed to work. It seems like from these numbers, they want you to draw like a specific pattern, but I'm trying to map it out in my head and it's not seeming to work right. I know there has to be a wall in between here and... Actually, let me start with that. It cannot go here, because that would create issues. And then what? Can I continue the path here? Unfortunately, it creates no issues from there, so I cannot continue it there. And I have no idea where the rest of this continues. There's so much going on that I feel like there's a pattern here, but I just can't see it. What am I doing? I have no fucking clue, but for some reason, I see these numbers. I see these threes. This is the only way I can explain it. I see these threes, and I'm looking at them and I'm like, what if you just put those where the other numbers were that are the problem areas, which would be these twos and threes, which just makes sense because if I put it with the sevens, then in that case, you would want to be calculating the opposite. You want to be calculating the blank spaces. You would want to figure out where those blank spaces are because the 7 is the more common number. And I don't know how else to explain it. For some reason, just look at this shit. It works! See, there's this thing that you get when you progress this far in the game. There's this, like, sense, this ability to think that you get of this mapping of the path that you just see when you see these big numbers, like, nonogram style, and you just, like, figure out, oh, you want to go for the, you know, like, the number that's more problematic. You, like, in this case, with all these blank spaces here, and you're trying to figure out where the walls go, you want to figure out, basically, where that last empty space can go, so you can just be like, well, that's where the other two walls would go. And the thing is, when you see like this 3 here, and you're like, where could these blank spaces go? And instead of the 7, which would connect you to this section, you wouldn't be focused on this one, it would feel like it would create the wrong path. So instead, you put it here, thinking that the 3 could catch it, and then you discover, oh, well, if that has to be connecting to this door, because how else is it supposed to fucking connect to this bomb here? You do this part here, and then you put a blank space and a blank space here, and then oh, look at that. You just somehow accidentally create the shape and then you just fill in the remaining gaps and presto, you have your solution. I have no other way to explain that to you. No other way. You're just going to have to take my word for it that it's just takes some skill and practice and at some point magically you start to understand how it falls into place. That's all I can say. Okay, how are we doing this 12? Well, I think we gotta try this again. Let's see. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. And then you have your 0 bomb. So let's just start with the biggest one. Which number can equal 3? B could equal 3 if it did this. So that's one way to do it. Could A equal 3? A could equal 3 if it did this. So, not impossible. What other number could equal 3? X can't equal 3, and Y can't equal 3. So A or B equals 3. That's good to know. Now, which number can equal 2? It's gotta be X or Y. They gotta equal to like this or... Well, well, well. Now that is something I did not expect. Did I just accidentally solve it? I think I just accidentally figured out that A has to equal 3. Because if it was B, then it would equal 4. And in that case, you'd have 2 zero bombers. I think we just figured that shit out. X is 3 and B equals 1. So these contemplating X and Y are the only problems now. I figured that out by accident. That's crazy. That's cool how that works, though. That's cool. So now the other one equals 2. It's X or Y. It cannot be both, but I don't know where. All I do know is that we're looking at something like this. So this is the start. Can I continue with this anyway? I cannot do 7. I cannot do this 5. I cannot do this 5. I cannot do this 7. Unfortunately, I cannot worry about connections yet. There's 2 stars. Oh, well then hold on. I can worry about connections because I have to start sectioning. Sectioning can save my problem. Well, here's the thing. The X and the Y have to be connected through there, so I think we can already say that these can never touch. And in fact, because of these bombs, these can never touch. We still don't know what the rest of it is, but hey! Look at this good progress. Actually, yes we do. The Y has to escape somehow. This is its only method of escape of exploding. Ergo, it ain't X. And that's how X connects to this. And then I think we can just flat out just continue to place walls until we've eventually ran out of numbers to place said walls. I thought that would be a harder one. Cool. Is it just me, or does the X, Y, A, and B have its own unique colors of exploding? Something I'm going to have to pay more attention to. I don't know. Alright. I think I will do one more because of all this thinking we've had in between. This will be just about an hour. So this will be the last one. Well, this is fun. God damn. What the fuck? Let's start with something easy like this one. If I didn't have this one explode up, that creates a wall, which means that this one would have to explode twice. Ergo, that's impossible. Ergo, you have to do the same as reversing. So there you go. There's your start. Could you imagine if you didn't start from looking there? You would be fucking lost of not being able to figure out what else the hell to do. Unfortunately, the same can probably not be said here. It's like, yeah, you can do that, but you know, you don't know if it will be that one. Well, Well, actually, no, I can start with the 5, so... Forget everything I said, it's just the same shape. So far. So far. No connected sections. This 4. This 5. There you go. I told you it wouldn't be the same that easy the whole way through. What a beautiful looking shape, by the way. Like, what an absolutely gorgeous looking shape. One wall there, I don't know where. That's connecting through there, so I have no idea where that continues. This can connect this way or the other way. I don't know. Huh. I can do those 4. And this 2's got to connect through here or here. And fortunately, I don't know which way because it just connects to everything, so... You know, that's fun. 5, 3, 2's done. Could this connect here? Gee, I don't know. It could, but at the same time, it could not. Because this seems like it connects here, but then at the same time, it cannot, or it won't. Actually, no. This 4 will connect this way. So then how about this 5? One of these 5s will be complete, which would mean you'd have to do the other 5 up here. So I think I can start with just saying these are safe, which means that can I do this 5? No. Can I do this 4? No. God, man, like, there has to be a wall here, has to be a wall here, so, and there also has to be a wall here, so that would complete these numbers. But god damn it, if I don't know which one would go where. Like, would it be so bad to assume that they are just having to connect that way flawlessly? Because the thing is, like, I feel like you could still do it the other way, and you would have no problems. Like, I could connect here, and then escape throughout this way here, and then you're all connected already here, so there's no problems. What if you went the other way? You went to here, and then you went to, like, here? Well, this is already a choke point, so, you know, let me just do the choke points, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't a choke point. I don't know. Like, see, this is the shit I'm talking about. You can do this, and then, you know, you have to do that, but then you're never getting to this section. I get it now. I'm right. It's a choke point thing. Shut up. I understand it. You don't have to yell at me. Press the wrong key. Don't yell at me. I understand. It makes total sense. There we go. Oh! It unlocked another puzzle. Oh, the way over here. Look at all the levels that are left. We are so close. So very close. I think they'll do it, though. I think that'll do it for Logic Bombs for today. You know, not just with me wanting to be quiet, but also, you know, with it being late. But then again, I kind of want to do an review anyway. But more importantly, I think it's just my eyes. I can't look at this, like, black screen anymore. My eyes are kind of like... I don't know if they're still dialing, but they're just having a hard time looking at the screen right now. I'm not tired or anything. I'm not. Otherwise, I would have been yawning, but I think I've had enough. Alright, so Temetsi is working, but I still need to figure out where I left off. And the screen does not hurt my eyes as much. I think because that one was like a black on white, it's hard to look at. But it's not a problem with the game. I absolutely love it. It's hard to stare at something like that for so long and not feel like your eyes are about to like bleed, or like you can't keep looking at it all day. You know what I mean? It's not healthy. And I also know that's a fact for many things like computer monitors and just the TVs in general, that like they rot your brain and like they're not healthy to look at all day. But some people just want to do that. So what are you going to do? But yeah, it's a good time to know when to stop. So I think this is a completely good time to stop. So with that said, thanks for watching. Peace out, gamers. I will see you next time in the next video, whatever it may be. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you all next time. Maybe Temetsi, maybe not. It just depends what comes out first, or whatever you choose to view next. And hopefully we'll be getting back to Logic Bombs soon. But again, it'll be probably around a weekly thing, maybe a little over, just slightly a weekly thing. Especially because I gotta do 14 minutes of Minesweeper, which I should have done before, but god damn it. Sometimes when you watch someone play a game, or you just watch yourself play a game, sometimes you're on that craving, you just want to play that exact game, if you know what I mean. Alright. Well, I'll see you guys next time.